Right, good evening. Hello, everybody. Nick, sort the screen out. We've got a bit of a black bit down the bottom. I don't know what's
You got
going on.
what?
We've got a black bit. I can't see it. Can you see the banner at the bottom? Because I can't.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah.
Oh, it's just my end. Anyway, evening everybody.
Right.
Welcome to the Sunday night. This is going to be a boozecast where we go through some of your questions because we're kind of mid between games, international break, which everyone hates, and Nick's melting. He's having a few little dog issues. How you doing, Nick? You don't look much cooler than the photo you sent me earlier.
No, I'm very dishevelled. You're
Yeah.
gonna hear a whoosh after my when I talk as well. I've got a noise gate on, so when I don't talk, silence. When I do talk, you're gonna hear a shh. That's the fan. I ain't turning it off. You're gonna have to put up with it because I'm fucking melting. I spent 4 hours out in the sun from midday onwards managing my son's football team in direct sunlight, no sun cream. My nose is burnt, and I'm not very happy. But anyway.
Ah, well.
But you know what? Division 1, we got a point. We got a point on the board. Down to 10 men. We pulled it back last minute. First game of the season, so we've literally gone up to the top division, played an established first division team, and we did get a point on the board in that heat as well.
Oh, good. Great result. Great result. So you were wilting on the sidelines then?
I was dying. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was horrendous.
And that's the end of the summer. That's the end of the summer. It came this week and it's gone tomorrow. 25 degrees, 22 later on in the week. Everything's looking up. On a serious note, before we get started, let's just, talk about the earthquake in Morocco, which is bloody horrible. And especially because we've got Naif Agüed, who plays for us. And, no doubt this would have hit him quite hard. It's a terrible, terrible situation. So, thoughts to everybody who knows somebody or has got relatives over in Morocco. It's awful. I hope the people you care about are okay. Yeah.
Do you see how Naif Agüed was having donating blood, wasn't he? Doing the he was doing it and having that sent over. Did you see that on social media?
I didn't see that, but it's what you'd expect from someone like him, isn't it? Yeah. No, he's a very proud Moroccan and wears a shirt with pride, and no doubt got a huge family over there and stuff like that. So got to do that, haven't you? What's Eastside just said in the chat there? All right. My missus and family are fine, and so are our friends. So, right, Eastside. So, So you've got family over in Morocco as well. So yeah, that's good.
Eastside's from Algeria, and his missus is from Morocco.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
No, that's good. I'm glad everybody's okay, Eastside, and anybody else who's watching as well. Let us know. Let us know if you're affected by it. So look, what we're going to do. This is going to be a boozecast format, so that means we'll go through your questions. We'll go through a couple of talking points first, just to get warmed up. Nick promoted the
get
first.
Warmed up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm melting myself. You see, I'm gradually going redder because I can't put my aircon on because that'll just. You think you've got background noise? If I put that on, no one's going to be able to hear me.
No.
But anyway, look, Martin Keown. I couldn't believe it when I heard this. He said he fears for himself visiting the London Stadium, so he doesn't go anymore because of horrible aggression from West Ham fans. And he said, just to follow up, I think the fans at Chelsea and Man City and Man United are fantastic, really nice. So he hasn't forgot that we dislike him. I always remember that time when Di Canio turned him inside out and passed the ball into the top corner past Seaman. That was Arsenal.
Wanker.
That was Arsenal at their best. I know we used to sing he's got a monkey's head. He has really, hasn't he?
But do you think since that? Do you think that's kind of stuck with him and it haunts him?
I think it does. And I think if he's going to get that, isn't he? If West Ham fans see him, he's going to get that. So he's probably less in fear for his life and more embarrassed by it. That's what I'm thinking.
Honestly,
he's a complete arse.
What a fucking cringy thing to say.
I know. It's not the sort of thing you'd admit, is it?
And listen, with all due respect, since we moved from Upton Park, it's one of the most fucking sterile places you can go to as well. Let's face it. You're not going to fear for your safety around there, are you? Not now.
Of course you ain't. And especially because all the VIPs and everything and the players, they drive in that lovely, quiet car park over the back there, go up the back stairs into the stadium and then piss off again, right? They never get in amongst the crowd.
I know.
Anyway, it's Martin Keown. What do you expect? And that goes for other Arsenal people in the media as well. I mean, I don't like listening to Merson. Merson just gets on my tits, and various others as well. And one that really annoys me is Agbon Lahore.
He's thick as shit, he is.
He's totally thick. He's totally thick. When you listen to him on TalkSport, you think, fucking hell, how did you get a job, mate? And he might have said this tongue-in-cheek. You said it was tongue-in-cheek, but it's been quoted as if it isn't, right? That's the problem. And he said...
We all know about getting taken out of context, though, don't we?
We do. But when you're on...
Apparently, he was saying it tongue-in-cheek. So he was saying it as a joke. That's what I've been told.
That's fine. But when you're on a national radio station like TalkSport and you say something as a joke, that's going to be captured as a little clip and it's going to be a headline. But he's so dim, he doesn't know that. What he actually said was, maybe Ward Prowse should go and play for a bigger club so he can get into the England team.
I didn't say it like that. He said, maybe Ward Prowse should go and play for another bigger club and go to fucking monotone. Sorry, Black Country. I'm not seeing him in the chat yet.
I know. Anyway, go through the comments, see if we've got any. And the final little talking point is about Alvarez. Now, he played in a 2-2 draw, I think over in Ireland, with Australia for Mexico. And big David Moyes went over there to watch him. Firstly, Moyes would have been delighted because he played centre-half the whole game, right? And at the end, there was a massive tear-up between him and one or two of the Australian players, because he's got that in his locker, right? And it's only a matter of time until he loses his shit. Someone's going
to get it. Someone's going to get it.
That bloke's going to become a proper cult hero down at West Ham. He really is. I love him already, We know quality when we see it.
He just needs to pick his moment and pick the right person and time to get that red card and get it properly.
You know what? Craig Bellamy hit the nail on the... Yeah, I know. Make it worth it. Make it worth it. Craig Bellamy hit the nail on the head. I think West Ham Network on Twitter earlier posted a quote from Craig Bellamy, and I've said this before, the way he said West Ham fans are unique and they're the most knowledgeable. This is what Craig Bellamy... Bear in mind, he's played for Liverpool and God knows who else as well. He said they are the most knowledgeable. He basically said that everyone likes a player who gets stuck in. But if you just get stuck in and you've got no ability, then that's not going to settle with the West Ham fans, right? And that's true, isn't it? If you get someone who's just a clogger and has no ability, if Alvarez was rubbish and filthy, it wouldn't be quite so good, would it? But fact is, he's an absolute monster,
he's so far from average. I mean, he's literally we are. I'm telling you now, he's a better number 6 central defensive midfielder than Declan Rice. He's a better CDM. He's a specialist, Declan Rice isn't a number 6 anymore. Maybe when Declan Rice was focused on that position in that season, maybe a couple of seasons ago, then he might have been able to match him. But then again, could he match him? Declan Rice had certain elements to his game where he was class and he could read the game. But he can do that. But what I always kind of thought Declan Rice was for that position was he was too nice.
Yeah,
he was not aggressive enough. Whereas Alvarez he's the full package. He's got everything. He
wasn't one, Declan Rice, and still isn't, to get stuck in and actually go full into a challenge, right? I don't think I've ever seen him launch himself into a tackle with you. And
our midfield is better now. And this is taking nothing away from Rice. He is a great player. But West Ham, since he's gone, with the players that we've brought in, we are better in central midfield now. Yeah. Without him. That's a fact.
Yeah, no, that's right. And finally, I was listening to TalkSport tonight, and Sam Allardyce was being interviewed on there. And you should have heard it. It was like the world according to Sam Allardyce. He was talking about he can't stand all this tippy-tappy football. He said the worst thing is it's ruined football. He said this tippy-tappy nonsense has ruined football. He said what's worse is... He said, I feel sorry for the young managers because they have to play tippy-tappy football or they get fired, right? He said, is all I ever done. He said, what I had at Bolton is I played some of the best football any team has ever played at Bolton. Yeah, he said that. He said that, right? Now, I know he had a couple of flair players at Bolton, and I know they got the ball up the pitch very quickly and stuff like that, but it wasn't some of the best football ever. It was a miserable time playing Bolton, wasn't it? It was fucking horrible. Yeah. So even when he had flair players, it wasn't what you could call great to watch. But what he said, people put, and this was aimed at you, Nick, personally, he said, people today put quality of football and entertainment in front of results.
quality of football and entertainment, that's something that West Ham fans have always craved. And I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And this is something what I fucking hate. Now, look, you can't dispute the results are great. Everyone's right. We're riding the crest of a wave. We're doing very, very well, blah, 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 blah. But what annoys me is when our own fans, it's bad enough when fucking Sam Allardyce cups his ear and opposition players, opposition people say, oh, West Ham way. But our own fans are doing it now. What is a West Ham way? And they're fucking dismissing it. They're dismissing. That pisses me off.
That quote from Jamie Carragher earlier in the week, which was one of the best things Jamie Carragher, probably the best quote Jamie Carragher has ever come out with. He actually said, what is the West Ham way? And he said, I'll tell you what the West Ham way is. He said entertainment. It's not about winning trophies. It's not about winning leagues. It's about going and seeing your team have a go and be entertained. He said over the years, they've had some real top players and they're accustomed to it. They're accustomed to that entertainment. And that is exactly what I've been trying to say. I've been raised on those sort of players, right? And, the one thing that I think separates West Ham from the rest is we've always been able to beat anybody on our day, right? And there's only one way that has happened.
By having a go at them.
Exactly. That is the only way it's happened, right? But that's been true since the dawn of time with West Ham, hasn't it?
100%. Of course it has. And look, and the thing is, I had this conversation the other day. I had a conversation with Ryan, really good guy, and I don't want David Moyes to do anything different now because I think if he is here for this season, this is what David Moyes is good at. I don't think he can do it the other way. So let's have the most successful season that we can have in terms of points haul. So I'm happy for him to do what he's doing at the moment. I don't know how long it will last, but we'll get into that. A little bit later. But I don't think that he can't do as he's from the Sam Allardyce school. He doesn't do tippy tappy shit either. He's not interested in it. It's results.
That's right. And look, England was shit. I watched it actually. I don't watch international football, especially qualifiers. I watch tournaments because it bores me to tears. And I couldn't believe that you had Aaron Maguire playing at the back.
I saw Kudus' free kick. That's all I've seen.
I haven't seen it. Was it good?
Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's good that he carries on scoring anyway. So Harry Maguire playing at the back. He can't get in the team for Man United. His very first touch, he miscontrolled it, and he had to apologise. His first touch, right? And Henderson, who's now a regular in the Saudi A League or whatever it's called, he walked straight back into the England side.
But he didn't go there for the money. Henderson.
No, he didn't. No, it's right. He didn't. He went there to actually grow that league and actually laid down. He wanted to be one of the founder members of that league. No,
Jordan Henderson, massive name in football, is really going to change things, isn't he?
I read.
A little bit,
Did you see some of that interview that he gave? Fucking hell! That's going down as the worst interview by a British person since Prince Andrew.
There is nothing wrong with saying this is my last contract. They've offered me a fucking fortune. I've come out here,
Yeah.
It's going to make me rich, my family rich, everyone else rich. Yeah, I've come here for the money. Shoot me.
Yeah, I know exactly. I'd say it.
Yeah.
I'd say thank you very much. Look at my bank. Look at my bank balance. It's fucking huge.
Don't dress it up as something it's not.
I'll tell you what. Once upon a time,
no one goes to the desert unless they're getting paid a lot of money.
Once upon a time, many years ago, when I was a contractor, and I was actually, you earn better money as a contractor generally than you do as a permanent employee, and I hated the job, but I made this kind of little app which counted up how much I was earning as the day went on. Right, it's the only thing that kept me sane. I reckon I could sell that to Henderson. He could market it. Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
It needs to support a couple more digits, though, I reckon. Yeah. So, and Declan Rice, number 41, in his pre-match interview with Joey Cole, I think he's now realised that what he said when he went to Arsenal was a bit stupid. And I reckon Carlton Cole has been... You remember what I said last week about Carlton Cole saying you can't go to Arsenal and say, "Oh, I've just found football. I've just learned about football."
He said it. He can't take it back now.
Yeah. But I think he's now trying to rewind a bit. And he said, "Look, he started piling on all the emotional shit and saying he speaks to all the players all the time. Sent Moyes a text, a good luck before the first game and all that sort of stuff." Right?
He's heard about Qatar, and he's watched my video. He's heard about Qatar.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah. His dad's keeping his options open, isn't he? His dad's keeping his options open. Yeah. So, and then finally, I think the final bit of current news we got is Jesse Lingard. And
I can't stand talking about him.
Listen,
People are talking about him more
we
than
ain't
what they're
gonna
talking about our other players.
listen, he's the last one we're going to talk about, right? He's last on the list. Last on the list. That's how important he is on this show, right?
Yeah.
He's a TikTok tit. That is exactly what he is. I was watching West Ham Fan TV. I was listening to Nicky earlier, and he got it bang on. He said he doesn't take football seriously. He doesn't, right? Why has it taken him 6 weeks, 8 weeks of training with us to get himself fit? Because he was over somewhere, I think over in the States, attending a fashion show. He said that football to him is a means to an end because it's about supporting his career after football, right? Yeah. That's what it's all about with him. He ain't a serious footballer. I don't think we should fucking touch him. I don't want him.
I said it very, very simply the other day. We've got loads of players in these positions now. We've got, if you look at Paqueta, Kudus, Benrahma, fucking Cornet. Now, I'm not being funny. If we get to a stage where a couple of those players, they've gone to AFCON or there's an injury, we've got our youngsters fucking cleared up last year. Don't tell me we ain't got 1 or 2 players that couldn't step up and fill a void and play as an understudy for a couple of games. So by bringing him in, all you're doing is you're blocking the pathway of someone who is more deserving of minutes than him. He don't deserve minutes.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And I agree with Nicky right on this. He is not a serious footballer. No. Don't fucking hire him. Don't hire him. He's using us to grow his brand so he gets his next big move, his money spinning move to Saudi. Bear in mind, his stock is low at the moment. No one's going to touch him.
I haven't had a Bombay bad boy since that news broke, I'm telling you.
Anyway, let's not mention Lingard again on this show tonight.
Yeah,
unless it's one of the questions. So, let's move on. This is a Boozecast. So Nick, over to you with the first question.
First question. All right, okay. I bet me box of tricks don't work now. We did do a test,
we'll come to the comments soon, honestly. We'll come to the comments soon. Nick said he was going to drive the comments while I hosted, but he's fucking...
I'm fried. I'm fried today.
What have you got on, though? Have you got some sort of jumper on?
No, but I'm reading the comments. I'm just not putting them up. I'm seeing them all coming through. I just can't be asked to click. I am sorry, everyone. Some good comments in there.
Yeah, I'm sure there are. I'll have to go back and have a look at them. Yeah, fuck's sake.
Well, I've been reading them. Hang on 1 minute. Right, I'll try and go in the order they came in. So we've got. Hopefully this works.
Hello, Clara and Booze.
Oh, Mickey B.
Mickey here. So I've got a question for you, but it is more of an observation, I guess. So feel free to discuss that. So the observation is, and sorry, this is another Moyes tactics question, if you like. And I know there's a lot of Moyes in people who's going to be like, come on, mate, give the game a break. Do you know what I mean? He's doing well. And to be fair, I agree with that. I do. He's doing really well. Yeah. Results-wise, he is doing it. But this was to do with... Do you remember last year when he said he was changing the way we was playing? Yeah. And not many people, anyone I've heard, as sort
no one remembers it.
Knew that was happening. Yeah. They couldn't really see the difference in it.
He did. He changed style.
Again, nor could I. Yeah. Until the Luton game. And the reason why I bring that up is because that's how he was kind of playing when he was trying to turn things around to be more of a possession-based football. And then I realised that's what I was watching against Luton. So the possession-based for Moyes is more just possession in the centre midfield, like along the halfway line to back towards our own goal. Possession, like keeping now. It's kind of like he's looking for that counter-attack without it being counter-attack, if that makes sense. It does in my head, but I just don't know how to word it properly. And I find it really boring. I find it a lot more boring than the Moyes low block. I don't know what you're feeling there. And again, like I said, it is hard to criticise him at the moment.
It's a short question.
No, it's not.
Look, listen, I'm a Moyes out, obviously. Yeah. But I do respect what he's done for the club. I love being in Europe every season. I love winning the trophy.
Important to caveat that as well.
I love the results, of course I do. Do you know what I mean?
I always say that. It's important to respect what he's done before you slag him.
Grateful and respect the destination than rather the journey itself.
Yeah.
That makes sense? Actually, that was quite good. That was.
It was good. It was
destination. The destination rather than the journey. Yeah.
So my question is, firstly,
we have got a question.
Discuss that because I might have it wrong. And yeah, fine. But then the question is, would you rather to watch? And you only got these two options here. Would you rather watch Moyes ball low block or Moyes ball possession based? So that's the question. For me,
it's a good question.
I'll take the Moyes low block, which is crazy, but I'll take that low block because it's a bit more entertaining. They're both not entertaining for me. They both ain't, but it's a bit more entertaining than the possession base that Moyes plays.
Right.
Anyway, that's what I've got to say. Good luck to you, lads. Have a good one. Come with you, Wines.
Cheers, Miggy. Right.
Cheers, Miggy.
Okay, I'll go first. Go first. I know exactly what he's saying. Right, so what he's saying is, when we play possession-based football, it's still defensive. That's basically it. So when we play possession-based football, it's slow build-up play from the back. It's all about holding the ball. Yeah. But it's not about... This is what people make... People say, you want possession-based football, you've got it. No, that ain't what you want. What I mean is I want attacking football, progressive football, fucking patterns of play, trying to, players making runs. It's still, what he does is, we've still got a really rigid shape when we do this, but we're just passing the ball back and forth. And you will only ever be able to do it when you're playing against a team like Luton that are playing a low block. So that is effectively it. But what we do have, we've got players with talent that have got the ability to pick passes now. But I agree with what he's saying. I think if you're going to play this way, if you're giving me the choice of both, I thought Luton was incredibly boring to watch. It was, and we had the ball a lot there. It's probably more exciting from a fucking match perspective to let them have the ball for 80% of the time, and then just do one of them quick smash and grab counter attacks for the other 20%, rather than us have the ball and not know what the fuck we're doing with it for 60-70% of the game, because I don't think we really do. I don't think we really do. Go on, Gary. What are your thoughts anyway?
I could be putting any question up because I couldn't see. Right, go on. You're going to go through some. So you're going to go through some comments while I talk.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, good. Right, okay. Look, first of all, and this is the official caveat, right, that you got to put up front of every time you're going to criticise Moyes. I respect what he's done. Yeah. So
tell us what. No, answer the questions.
I'm answering the question. I don't think Moyes set out to play any sort of possession-based football against Luton. That was just how Luton forced us to play, because they sat back and gave us the ball. We didn't know really what to do with it. It took individual craft and brilliance of Paqueta to find some space and unlock that defence. It wasn't our style of play or our brilliance. It was individual brilliance. We're uncomfortable doing that. We hate doing that. Moyes has not built a team to do that. And given the choice, we wouldn't, right? I
disagree. When you say he's built, I think we've got a team that can play that style of football.
Well, yeah, you might say that, but honestly, I don't remember. Like Mickey, I don't remember him changing it around and trying a more flair-based approach. I remember him playing Paqueta out of position and trying all sorts of stuff that weren't going to work. But as far as I was concerned, it was still in the 4-2-3-1, which he used all through last season. Do you remember him changing?
He didn't change. What he did was he gave Scamacca a chance to impersonate Antonio.
Yeah, and he put Paqueta up as a number 10, didn't he? Which he, when he first got into the Premier League, he might be able to do it now, but he couldn't do it back then. So yeah, look, I sort of agree that is the style of football we ended up playing against Luton, but I don't think it's because we wanted to. I think it's because we were forced to. Right? We had no other choice because Luton just gave us a ball and sat back, bunch of giants that they are. Have you got that mug? Have you got that mug?
I haven't. Question: where is Virgil? You can look. He's busy. He went on holiday. He was on holiday for ages, and now he's back. He's working, trying to save the pennies again. So John was always on and off anyway with the show. So he'll be back, but when he'll be back, I don't know.
Yeah,
like I say, we leave it up to him when he can do a show, and as it stands at the moment, he's too busy. All right.
Yeah. Is what it is. We crack on.
What it is. We crack on. Yeah.
So yeah, I that's what I think it is. What do I prefer with the players that Moyes has got and David Moyes himself? You said it earlier. I prefer the low block and counter attack because that is what he can play.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a long question, Mickey. That was about 10 minutes, that question.
Yeah, but the thing is, I think the trouble is what you got now, and the issue that he's got when you put a question. This is the thing that I have sometimes when you're trying to put a point out that might be even slightly critical of David Moyes. You spend half hour justifying what you're about to say.
Yeah.
I'm doing the same thing. Everyone's doing the same thing because it's like, oh, look, I do respect him. He's done really well. I know he's got us in Europe, and I know he's done this. You know, I do respect him, but he's football shit.
Yeah.
No, but that's basically what I do now. That's basically what I do.
And it was. And
I will respect him. I will respect him when he's gone.
Thanks,
I will.
Yeah, and you will respect him. You want a statue? You'll probably be starting a campaign for a statue after he goes.
I will. Put one in the garden. Get the dog to piss up it every morning.
Yeah, giving the ball to a Moyes team is like giving boxing gloves to a penguin. You can't bleeding use them.
Right, let's move on to Irish Tommy.
Go on.
Evening, everyone. Irish Tommy here. My question for the panel is, with our next home game against Manchester City seeing the return of availability of Thomas Souček, how should we approach this game tactically? Should he come straight back in? Or should he remain out of the team with Alvarez, Ward-Prowse and Paqueta staying in midfield? And should Kudus be given his first start in a West Ham jersey, given how good his form has been in the early season for Ajax and for Ghana? Which midfield and attack would you go for? Does Souček remain on the bench, or does he come straight back in? And if so, in place of whom? Thanks, guys.
Okay, let me take that. And can I start by saying, David Moyes, I respect what he's done. Right, so look, I think he's gonna obviously against Man City, he's going to stiffen it up in the same way that he did against Brighton. Right, Souček goes straight in. If Ward-Prowse
stiffen it up with a stiff,
If Ward-Prowse is injured, and there is a chance that he won't make the City game, I've read. Right, so if that is the case, then I think
no one knows.
Yeah, no. Then Souček will probably go into his position, and that leaves an attacking berth in the one that Benny's got. Now, whether that left-hand side is suitable for Kudus or not, I don't know. I don't know the player really, only the show reels that I've seen. But I get the impression when you hear people talk about him that people would pay their money at Ajax just to see him play. Now, a player like that, you know, no matter where you put them across the front line, they'll float and they'll create some damage, you know. But again, it depends, I suppose, how quickly he gets to know the league. Now, he's not going to get to know the league unless he gets game time, right?
Yeah.
He must play. This is a quality player. You don't leave a player that expensive sitting on the bench saying, oh, he's got no Premier League experience. Well, fucking give him something. Right, anyway, Nick, what do you reckon?
Sorry, mate.
Do you respect what Moyes has done before you start?
Have I got to do that before every sentence?
Yeah, go on.
Yes, I do respect what Moyes has done. But he will fucking do the same thing. And this is going to be another gripe as well throughout the season. I'm not going to go on a rant because there's a few comments, a few questions that we've got that are going to open up other conversations.
Yeah.
But he will play him and he won't be out of the team. So what will happen is, and I'm telling you now, when we play against somebody who is so when we play Liverpool and Man City, you're going to be seeing the same team that faced Chelsea with Lucas Paqueta shifted out to the left-hand side. That's how it's going to stay. I'm almost certain of it. I think we're going to be. He won't drop Alvarez because he's too good. He won't drop James Ward-Prowse because of his set pieces. He won't drop Souček because I don't know. He's got a copy of his fucking hard drive or something. So there's no way he won't play him. Which means that the spare position out on the left wing will be occupied by Paqueta. Where Kudus is ever going to fit in this team, I don't know. But we're going to go on to talk about that after. So for me, Souček will be in, and he won't be out again unless he gets concussed by someone again. You won't see him dropped.
Right. No. I totally agree. I think Souček starts every game he's available.
Yeah.
And this is where it will start to perhaps go wrong, right? Not against the lesser teams, because I'm
telling you, Souček was his problem last year. Souček was his problem Moyes' problem last year. The obsession with Souček was his problem last year. Yeah. I mean, if you want to play a possession-based game, play players that can pass the fucking ball.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. I agree. But I do worry that we've got this new. No, look, I hope Johnny Heitinger coming in. He did manage Kudus for 5 months earlier in the year.
He's another Moyes yes man. He used to play for Moyes.
No, but he knows how to use Kudus. That's what I'm saying.
I know.
And I still haven't looked. I know it's a bit slack of me, but I meant to have a look back at that 5-month period where Ajax did quite well and see, kind of look at it in depth. Where did he get used? Where did he utilise him? Because Ajax used him on the right, up front, everything else. I'd like to see where he utilised him. So if you get bored, Nick, have a look into those stats because I ain't had a chance to do it yet. But I can't believe. I said this the other day. Moyes is many things, but I don't think he would ignore quality if it's genuine quality. If he sees that Kudus is something really fucking special in training, similar to Paqueta last year, right? If he sees he's something special, then he'll put him in the team. And there was a veiled threat to Ben Rama earlier this week, I think, in the media saying that if you don't butt your ideas up, mate, you're going to find yourself on the bench or moving on, right? Yeah. That was coming from inside West Ham. So I think that is teeing Ben Rama up to on what to expect.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, in short, do I think Souček's going to come in? Yes, and it will be at the expense who's ever out on that left-hand side, and Paqueta will shift out. He'll become our new left winger.
Yeah. Well, that like I said, that's all right if he's good enough. If he's actually a really talented player, which he is, then putting him out on the left wing won't be so bad as long as he gets. What? Sorry, no, not Paqueta. Not Paqueta.
That's Paqueta's going to be he'll put Paqueta out on the left wing.
Yeah, but you know that won't. Paqueta's so good. He ain't gonna just.
Yeah, but okay. Well, look, we're going to talk about Kudus in a minute, but I'm asking you now. So if you who the fuck's going to get? Who's going to make way for Kudus? Bowen?
No, it'd have to be Ben Rama. But the thing is, because Souček is going to replace Ben Rama effectively, there is no room for Kudus.
This is what I mean.
Yeah. So unless Moyes changes it around, and that would involve dropping Souček. And I said this about 3 weeks ago, looking at that team against Brighton, the way it played before Souček went off and after Souček went off, there is no place for Souček in that first team. He's got to be for cups, or for injury cover. He can't be a first team starter because it ruins everything.
We will see what happens. I'm going based on the trend of David Moyes and Souček. So I've seen nothing to suggest that David Moyes. I mean, we had fucking Lanzini and Fornals on the bench last year.
Yeah. This is what I'd like to see. East side, Kudus will go at City. We'll catch him on the break, and we need pace. That is my hope. Pacey counter attack is a perfectly lovely kind of football.
He's got to play though. East side, he's got to play.
Yeah.
Right. Next question. I haven't got a name on this one, but I think he mentions it on the message itself. Cheers, Tommy.
Hi, Nick.
Cheers, Tommy.
This is Robin, a hammer living in Brighton.
Robin.
My 2 questions for the panel would be, if you could sign any current player to fill a hole in our side that would work within a Moyes system, who would it be? And similarly, if you could sign any previous West Ham player from times past who would fill a hole in our side and fit in a Moyes system, who would it be? Right, peace out, guys. Cheers.
Oh, that's a good one. Go on, Gal, you go first.
That's a tough question, that is. That's a really tough question. If he's talking about picking somebody from the past, I'd have to...
Do it in order. So it's a player now. What player would you pluck from somewhere that would be great in a David Moyes system and improve our team?
Well, listen, I'm struggling because I'm not a big fanboy of David Moyes style players, right? But I think if you look at the team we've got at the moment, I think the weakness, not being horrible because I think he's a great player. I just don't think, not for this system, right? Yeah. No, it's either the right back with Soufal. We need a new right back, right? So who would I take? Yeah, let's go right back because that's easier, right? That's easier. Who would I take as a right back? Now, what side does Maddison play on?
We had a fucking right back for a start.
No, sorry, left back.
Maddison.
Soufal. I'm talking about Soufal. Maddison plays on the left up the pitch, doesn't he? But he can play. He has played that for Leicester. He's left, isn't it? It's left.
He's a number 10. He's a number 10, Maddison.
Yeah, he is now. But he was played wide before. So so give me some names of right backs. Go on, tempt me, Nick, because my brain's just gone blank on this.
I mean, people are saying sort of Rico Henry.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
No, a top right back. If you give me a choice of anyone,
well, it's got to be someone that would work in a David Moyes system. I mean, for me, I wouldn't. That wouldn't be my position. I wouldn't change that because I think we've got Tilo Kehrer and we've got Mavropanos who can both play at right back, and that is not a position that I think we need to strengthen in the squad at the moment. Personally,
all right, who would it be then?
What position?
Yeah. Let's cover this one with you as well first. Go on. Which position who would you bring in from currently available, like in other teams?
If I could pick one out now, a player that we could, because anyone you can go and say Haaland, but for me, an achievable player that would come in and add more pace and dynamism to what we're doing would be Jonathan David as a centre forward.
Yeah,
that would be the one. That would be the one. Get Jonathan David in to sit in the middle. I think that would be fantastic.
That's
personally, that would be me because I'm happy with the midfield. I'm actually happy with the defence. I'm even happy with. I know a lot of people are not for some reason, but I'm happy with Emerson at left back. I think we've got enough everywhere else, but the striker area does need to be addressed.
Do you think that left-sided centre half?
Antonio gets injured, we're fucked.
Do you think left-sided centre half? Because you know that we love Aguerd. He's a great player. You know, similar to Haller and Scamacca. He doesn't really work in a Moyes system. It ain't his fault, right? No. Would you replace that left side?
No.
Centre back? No.
No, I wouldn't.
Right. Okay.
Not for me. If it's one player, I'd go centre forward. If you go an old time player, then I don't know. Probably, but he wouldn't listen. It has to work in the Moyes system. Di Canio wouldn't work in the Moyes system.
No,
he wouldn't play.
No.
He don't track back. I would probably go for someone like Dean Ashton as a centre forward. Dean Ashton as a centre forward leading that line. I think he'd be brilliant.
Dean Ashton. You know what? Right. I know we are related. We share genes, right? But I was going to say exactly the same player.
You liar.
Right. You know why? Because Dodsey planted that. No, what's his name? Gary planted that seed with those 4 players. Right.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he gave us an option of which one to bring back. It was Di Canio, Ashton, Tevez, or
I'd like to bring Di Canio in just to piss David Moyes off. Yeah, no, I'd bring Di Canio in. I want to bring Di Canio in. That's who I'm signing.
Fights, wouldn't it?
I'm signing Di Canio, yeah.
Tell us who you'd want in the chat. This is an interesting question here. So we got Jonathan David.
Ballon Dawson's gone Bellamy. That is a fucking great shout.
And plus
he would be good because he would be good.
I always loved Bellamy, but even more so now after what he said. I'll tell you what, Johnny Artson could play the Moyes system. He was a fucking brute, wasn't he? You're talking about the original Johnny Artson before he got a bit fat, before we sold him to Wimbledon. He was
Samasi Abu.
yeah. Tell us who you wouldn't bring back.
Oh dear.
Di Canio would chip Moyes. You're right. Prime Dean Ashton, yeah, I think yes. I don't think, for instance, Tevez. I don't think Tevez could play this system, right?
I think he could. I think Tevez could.
You reckon he could?
He was a workhorse.
You reckon he could replace Antonio up front?
Somebody's made a very, very simple observation. If we're talking about somebody that we know would work in the David Moyes system, it would be peak Marko Arnautovic.
Oh yeah.
That's Michael Blease has said.
Well, he did work in a Moyes system, right? He's proven.
Yeah.
Mike Small was one of my favourite ever away days at Arsenal. Me and Lorraine, our sister, we went down there one day when you could just turn up. I said, Lord, do you want to go to Arsenal? She said, yeah, all right. So we went down there, bought a couple of tickets off a tout and ended up standing on one of the sides, sitting on one of the sides, their old ground, right in the middle of the Arsenal supporters. There was like a line of 10 West Ham, and Mike Small put it in the top left-hand corner, I think it was. It's the best thing he ever done for us, and we stood up and we were fucking dancing and shouting. And I thought you felt safe over there because it was Arsenal. It's only Arsenal, right? But the language, Sudan, you cunts.
Terrible.
I know, awful.
Mr. May says he'd like to bring in Marco Boogers to do a hatchet job on Rice.
I'll tell you what. I wonder if part of Rice is thinking
he's going to get some treatment. I
wonder if part of Rice is thinking, fuck, I've got to go and play against Alvarez.
Yeah.
Alvarez going to have him on toast, isn't he?
I want to see someone go through a tackle on the sideline right next to Arteta and take Arteta out at the same time as well.
Imagine that.
Amazing. Yeah.
I fucking hate Arteta. He's the one that's made me dislike Arsenal. It ain't Rice. Nasty little sneering cunt. Sorry,
Yeah.
I've got to stop swearing.
That's
I've just
twice.
demonetised the video twice. Sorry. Sorry about that. I don't usually say that word.
You don't.
No.
You're not allowed.
Started thinking
my
about
domain.
Arsenal, and out it comes, you know. Like, got
Yeah.
Tourette's, got Arsenal Tourette's.
Right. So
Right,
here we
let's move-
go. Here we go. We've got another one.
Go on.
This is from the Kevmeister.
Good evening, gentlemen. Loved the show, and I've got a sort of three-part question. Part number
Okay.
one, given that the World Club Championship is moving to 24 teams in 2025, do you think that this is paving the way towards forgetting about a European Super League,
Yes.
but moving towards a World Super League?
I do.
Number two, do you think the investment by the likes of Qataris, if they were to come into West Ham, would involve some sort of relocation of matches from
Yes.
Stratford to various parts of the world? And finally, number three, would you be optimistic or pessimistic about this future vision for our club?
Good question. Good question.
The last one's difficult, isn't it?
Go on, let you go.
Yeah,
first.
because I covered this in a video I made the other day, pretty much, right? I kind of guessed that this is where it's going, exactly what Kevin alluded to at the beginning there, and that is it will start out as a European Super League, and you know why that will happen, right? Because you've got American-owned clubs, and you've got Middle Eastern-owned clubs. Middle Eastern-owned clubs are funding these things for one reason or another, sports washing, blah blah, right? But they also love their sport over in the Middle East. I'll give them that, right? That's why Saudi are buying up all the different sports, because the public kind of demand it, right? That's what they get back. So I don't think the Middle Eastern countries would be against it, because at the end of the day they want to make money, but that's not their primary goal. But the American owners, American companies, they want to grow year on year, quarter on quarter, and revenue has got to be constantly in an upward trajectory, and so is profits. And there's only, with football, how can you do that, right? How can you do that by staying in the Premier League and just every 3 years or so renewing the Premier League deal? You can't really, can you? Because that ain't consistent growth. That's kind of goes like that, nips up a bit, carries on. They want year on year growth. The way to do that, and to kind of double the value, triple the value, quadruple the value of these clubs in the short term, is to do that European Super League. UEFA have bent over to the powerful clubs already. They will do it more. It will happen. I reckon 5 to 10 years for that to happen, closer to 5, right, before it comes round again. The more American owners there are in the leagues, and the more Middle Eastern owners there are, who will probably go along with it, I think it will happen. The Saudi League, the Qatari League, all these other leagues that are coming up, buying the best players from all around Europe and trying to set up by themselves. The Chinese tried it. It was a bit of a disaster, and they're tearing those stadiums down there and everything else. But Saudi and the Middle Eastern countries, as we know, have got unlimited resources. And so I think they will be successful in terms of raising the profile and the standard of their league, because at the moment it is just like it's a crap standard, right? When they do that, so that'll take 5 years to 10 years for the Middle Eastern clubs to compete. When they can compete, then I think you're going to see this World Super League, right? And then you will see, going on to question number 2, if Qataris took us over, but this goes for anyone, right? I think that's going to be part of that world.
Free.
No. Well, I think that you can take the third one about optimistic or pessimistic, right? Because that's a big answer. But the first and the second question go hand in hand, right? Because as soon as that World League is set up, then it won't be West Ham, for instance, playing at London Stadium. It'll be West Ham playing Spurs in the Bangalore cricket ground or the Bangalore football ground or something like that. And then the following week playing in Sydney, and the following week playing wherever. But there'll be no promotion and relegation, so the competitive edge would have gone anyway. It will just have the best players. It'll be like a fucking Harlem Globetrotters type thing, right? And that, for me, will kill football. But over to you, Nick.
Yeah, well, first of all, I'll touch on the first two. Look, listen, I know what you're all saying. And we've spoken about it before. Is that what the American owners want? Is that what they would like to do with football? I think so. Is it going to happen? No fucking way is it going to happen. Why is it going to happen? Because the likes of Qatari, of the Qataris and the Saudis and everyone else is buying into the Premier League. We saw what happened. Football fans in this country control the fucking game when they want to. We're the ones who stopped the Super League happening. They are not taking this game away from this country. The Premier League is the fucking Super League. It is the World League. And that is why every other country and Saudi and everyone else, they all want a piece of the pie. They're not fucking having it. And we're going to keep getting stronger. Very soon, you're not going to have a top 4 of super rich teams. It'll be a top 10. It'll be a top 12. So do you know what? As much as, and what they will have to do, which they will do, because the only way that you can prevent Saudis from basically blowing everyone else out of the water, if FFP isn't going to apply to them, then it can't apply to us either. And if you remove FFP and you've got the likes of the Man City owners and the Newcastle owners and the Qataris and so, then they can compete with them. Then they can bring all those players in. This is already established the biggest product in. This is what everyone wants. The Premier League is the World League. So no, not 5 years, 10 years. The Premier League's going nowhere. It's only going to keep getting stronger.
Yeah, and I must admit that gave me a bit of hope. What happened with those supporters of the big clubs,
it's
even
never happen. It's never
the rich clubs. I don't call them big clubs, call them rich clubs, right? Because there's one or two giants, right? And that's Sorry, that's not Arsenal. I don't count giants.
I think
Liverpool
and
Man U are giants.
Gary, I think what could happen is the European League could turn into the Champions League. That could turn into a World League maybe. But the Premier League will always be the staple diet. It will.
Yeah, two comments that have come through, and they're both conflicting, right? One clearly don't know about the other. So Peter Chelmsford has said, if they let a Saudi team into Champions League, I will give up. Well, Peter, good news for you. They have let a Saudi team into the early Champions League qualifying rounds in 2 years' time. It's going to move very quick. This thing is a moving target, right? So don't give up, Peter.
No one's going to watch them. Do you know? I mean,
I won't watch it.
I couldn't tell you what. I mean, I know him by Henderson's team. And the team that Ronaldo played for.
Yeah.
I'm never gonna watch it. Never gonna watch it at all.
Yeah.
Ever. Got no interest. It's fucking. It's like I watch. I'm not having a go at the American League, but I watch I watch Messi. I love Messi. And I watched him playing for. Honestly, it's like training ground standard for him. You can see it is.
Oh yeah, I saw it.
The way he's knocking the ball about.
I saw that thing he did.
It's an absolute.
You see that movie did. That movie did where he went past about 4 players.
I'd be more likely to watch the American League than I will Saudi. I'm not going to watch the fucking.
Well, the American League is almost competitive now, right? It's almost competitive. Yeah. So I think that, but I hate the model. I hate the model of like David Beckham can go over there and set up his fucking dream club. That is so American in the way they run their sports, that you can pick a club up and go and fucking drop it somewhere else over the other side of the country because it's a franchise. How did that work out for Wimbledon and Milton Keynes? I know it was only Wimbledon, but imagine picking up West Ham and putting us in, I don't know, the south coast of Scotland or something like that, right? Yeah. Not that is what would happen, but imagine worse, picking up West Ham. But yeah, I know. And I think you're absolutely right. And I hope that, say this Qatari thing did happen with us, right? We either get taken over by Qataris or we get left behind. And that was kind of the essence of my video I made a few days ago. And I must admit, I was troubled in making that video and making those opinions because I do have some sort of deep-held reservations But
the thing is, I do think we need it, Gary. I think a lot of people are pushing back. Look, I don't like it. There are very good arguments on the moralistic front. There are. But with the risk of what's going on in Saudi, we need more rich owners in the Premier League or we'll get swallowed up.
And like I said, this is where I get back down off my eye horse and kind of see it how other people are seeing it. The majority anyway are seeing it. And that is, we might get left behind. If we do get left behind, maybe Saudis, maybe Qatar don't happen, maybe something else happens. I do agree with you that every club in the Premier League will eventually have multi-billionaire owners, right? Including us, right? So if it ain't the Qataris, it'd be something else. But the
FFP rules will be relaxed when it comes to the point where all of the big stars are disappearing over to Saudi. They will release they will relax the FFP rules.
Did you hear about the new sponsorship deal that Newcastle have got?
Of course, it's going to happen,
with Adidas. Worth 100 million or so a season. Same mechanism as Man City. They're just working around it. You see, is all they're doing at the moment is paying lip service to UEFA. They don't give a fuck about their rules because they know they're not going to be bound by UEFA for very long, right? No. It's going to be them making up their own rules, right? I don't think we'll be left behind. I don't think we'll be left behind, whether it's Qatar or someone else. I think we will be part of that gravy train. I hope the gravy train don't go my worst case scenario because that's horrible. That kills football for me, right? Yeah. But I do, what you said, giving me a little bit of opening in that the fans. It is about the fans
in this country.
it is, and that is why we have got such a product, right? And the Premier League is a product. It's a product through tribalism, rivalries, noisy crowds, singing, atmosphere, style of football, competitiveness, so that the bottom team can beat the top team on any day. That is unique to the Premier League. No other league has got that, right?
Yeah.
As well as the promotion, sorry, not the promotion, but the relegation, the trapdoor, right? Which adds an element of jeopardy to, and that's one thing the Americans don't like. They just don't like it,
No.
No,
I know.
So, yeah.
Should we go on to the next question anyway?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, that was good. That was good.
It was. I like that question. Woke me up.
Hi, lads. Just thinking that we were pretty lucky not to lose to Bournemouth. We played Chelsea at the right time and rode our luck massively as well. With the Brighton win, fantastic though it was, required 4 or 5 point-blank worldies from Areola. This is a high-risk strategy, and it relies on teams coming at us. And so it's more difficult to play a Bournemouth than it is, say, a Brighton. But when you invite big teams onto you, you are guaranteed a shellacking. And I think maybe we'll give Man City game a pass, but Liverpool, I mean, we're going to get exposed sooner rather than later. My question is, do we call him Wardy Prizey or Wardy Prize? What do we call him? I don't know what to chant. Cheers, lads.
JWP, I think. I'll take that one first. Right, so I think he's absolutely bang on, and that's why I've been calling the style out, even though the results have been there. 100%. We scraped past Bournemouth. We scored. We slammed the brakes on. We were hanging on for dear life. Chelsea, great win, but let's have it straight. Game of fine margins. They should have put a lot of their chances away first half. They missed a penalty, and then we took our chances. We done a smash and grab. Very effective, but not convincing. Neither game convincing. Brighton, which was tactically very, very good, but still not convincing. Areola got man of the match. Danny Ings cleared a fucking header off the line 10 minutes from time that would have left us on the ropes with no attacking players left on the field because Moyes had subbed them off, apart from Danny Ings, but he's no outlet there. And then you go to Luton, that was on a knife's edge for the whole fucking game, even towards the end. So there's been no convincing wins, and this is why I'm critical of the style, because you're just inviting teams on. When you're winning games, but your goalkeeper is getting man of the match, that it doesn't point to amazing defending. It doesn't point to the fact that you're shutting the opposition out. It doesn't. We've been unusually, incredibly, brilliantly clinical in a few of those games where we've been converting the few chances that we've got. Do I think that this can go on for the whole season? Hand on heart, if we play this way, it won't. I don't think it can. If it does, I'll eat humble fucking pie. But it's going to be down to a lot more. We are counting on a lot of luck, because when all you're doing is for instance, like he said there, Liverpool, Man City. The players that they've got play a low block. When we've done quite well against Man City before, it's when we've gone at them and we've pegged them back, keep them as far away from our goal as possible. Because you can park 10 players in front of Phil Foden, he'll dance through you. They're fucking jink players. They've got players that've got craft, and they will come in. Yeah, fucking sounds sinister. Barney says.
Sorry, what's the name of that caller?
I didn't get his name. I didn't get his name, unfortunately.
Look, if you watch him, mate, put a bit in the chat. I'll drop us a comment and remind us your name, because it's a great great call.
It was
question,
but that's my opinion, and I think we're low block, part of the bus. That is that, because that is what it is. It is a legitimate tactic against some teams. It's only what we tried to do against Brighton last time, and the time before, and the time before. This time it worked. It is as simple as that. And I hope and I pray that I'm wrong, and I hope that he's got something more than this up his sleeve. Because I do think, although I think that this could be successful in Europe, which I think it will be playing this way, I don't think I think in the league we're going to get fucked and quite hard on a couple of games. I do.
Yeah. Look, that's what I'm worried about, and I think I respect what Moyes has done, but if we look at exactly what you just described, I ain't going to repeat it. I think exactly the same. Right? We've been we got 10 points, but we might have ended up with 2 or 5 or 4 or something like that, which 4 would have actually not been a bad result from that run of games, right?
No.
But yeah, I think the worry is that I always think this: the Premier League is so cute, right? As soon as one team finds you out, the others watch the videos. They all find you out, and I think that is true of Spurs as well. Spurs are flying at the moment, fucking attacking every team, scoring at will. Listen.
Gary, they're going to be good this year.
I ain't comparing us with Spurs. I ain't comparing us with Spurs. What I'm saying,
they've got a different type of
what
manager.
I'm saying is, it's a delight to watch the Spurs football. I hate to say it, it's a delight to watch, and that manager, he plays the football the way you want to see it. But they're all out attack.
We missed the boat on that fucker.
I think they are going to get rumped against some of the good sides as the season goes on, right? Because this is how cute the Premier League is. Once they find a little chink in your armour, they will expose it. That is what happens. So,
that's wishful thinking. I hope and pray that's the case as well. I don't think it will be.
Yeah. I think, he is the best part of the puzzle manager. What you got to say is, and someone said it earlier, and that is, we are a better version of Luton, and we are, because we've got real top quality players.
It's cringy,
right?
though, isn't it?
No, but Nick, we've got top quality players throughout our squad. Apart from 1 or 2, we've actually got some world-class players in our squad. I include Alvarez in that as well, right? With players like that and Zuma at the back, Paqueta, Bowen, potentially Kudus, even Emerson's playing really, really well, right? When you put a team like that together that's designed around playing this low block, you've got a chance of it being successful. Put it like this: no one is going to enjoy playing against us, and there is a chance that it is successful this year. Whether that leads to Moyes getting if he wins another cup, I think he gets another contract, right? But I do think that this season will go the way of Allardyce's last season, and that is start off really, really well, accelerate, and then drop like a stone after Christmas, right?
Yeah.
People asking for him to get a new contract, I think.
After 4 games.
4 games. Yeah.
4 games. And look at me fucking glasses. After 4 games, they're saying give him a fucking contract. What for part of anything else? What's to be gained from that?
Nothing at all.
Run him for the fucking year and see how he does. What, give him a 4-year contract? What if it goes back to how he was the last 18 months? We're stuck with him then.
It's the Moyes fanboys. The Moyes fanboys who won't hear a word against him. Basically, they're taking it up a notch. They're taking it up a notch.
He's staying for the year, but why give him another? Who would do that? No.
Yeah.
It just raises my blood pressure.
We are unstoppable. No, I think we're as in. I don't know. We're not unstoppable, are we?
I don't know, mate.
I think you hit upon a great point there, Nick, and that was we've taken our chances. We've been clinical in front of goal. We've been
clinical, yeah.
And if you do that, you've always got a chance. We've got to carry on doing that, right? I think it will make a difference if we've got options, because you can't rely on Antonio and Bowen, especially Bowen, because Bowen contributes a hell of a lot in terms of goals, right? You can't rely on the same players to be doing it time after time. You've got to be able to rotate and use the rest of your squad. So this is where I'm hoping Kudus comes in and adds something a little bit special, and then maybe even Cornet as well in Europe. Let's see what the rest of the squad have got. Europe's coming along in a couple of weeks.
I agree. Right, next one. This is good question, by the way. This is Mark from Chichester, West Sussex.
Yeah.
Hello, you lovely hammers. Right, my question is, I'm hearing a lot of people say that they don't know where Kudus should be played.
Yes.
I think a player of his skill should be played literally just behind Antonio in the middle of the park, because I believe he will provide opportunities and plenty of goals from that sort of area. Yep. So just behind, so not a 2 up front as such, but just
10.
Behind Antonio in that sort of pocket there, in the middle of the park. That's what I think. That's where I think he should be played. What does everyone else think?
Go on, Gal.
Yeah, I mean, in a system that accommodates a number 10, that would be perfect. But I don't think we have that system now, because, maybe if we're going 4-3-3, but then, how would you do that? He ain't going to play that system, is he? I can't see him playing a system that's going to accommodate 2 flair players down the middle of the pitch in Paqueta and Kudus. Can you see it?
No, not under Moyes. I mean, that would be 100% the way that I would play it. Listen, I love James Ward-Prowse. I do.
Yeah.
But the way that I would use the players that we've got now, if I'm being perfectly honest, the middle three for me would be Alvarez in the middle, and Paqueta and Kudus. Could you imagine that? But Paqueta and Kudus, and then I ain't being funny. If you've got to shoehorn someone in for their set pieces, it's probably going to be James Ward-Prowse that would have to go out on the left, because he has played out wide before in his career, and he's got good delivery from wide areas. So there's no reason why because I think if you remove Paqueta from the middle, I think that's insane. I've got to be honest. It gives you way too much. Let's have it straight. James Ward-Prowse is a very, very, very good player. He is. But he ain't Paqueta. And the main reason we bought him was free set pieces. So if you've got him in the team, at least you've got him free set pieces, his corners and whatever else. So for me, 100% it would be. Now, when I watched that Ghanaian podcast, really good, really, really good. I actually never did turn your mic up. No, I can't because I've got the fan on. Sorry. When I watched that Ghanaian podcast, very, very good. There was a guy there called the coach that was part of Kudus' development when he was younger, and they were talking about David Moyes' system not being right for him at all. So, and I think he's been advised by many, many people, this guy, not to come here. So Tim Steidten's been some salesman. He's been a really good salesman to sell him this job. And one of the things that Kudus asked when he asked Tim Steidten, he said, "Can I play in the team with Paqueta? Will David Moyes play me in the team with Paqueta?" Apparently, Tim Steidten said, yes, he will play you in the team with Paqueta. Yeah. That was reported by The Athletic as well. So I'm a little bit concerned by it, because I think if he gets played, he's going to be shoehorned in. And he isn't a left winger. Apparently, he's hardly ever played out on the left wing. When he's played and he's been at his most effective, he's played in that number 8 or a number 10, predominantly more a number 10. And he plays on the right-hand side, like an inside right attacker. And he's only ever played in progressive teams before. He's never, ever played for this type of team. He's never had to play counter-attacking football. So it's going to be a shock to his system. Yeah, but that would be me. Like to get the, and this is what I'm saying. When you say he's built a team to play Moyes ball, I disagree. I think that fair enough. If David Moyes had gone out and got the players that he wanted, gone and got Maguire, gone and got McTominay and players like that, fine. Yeah, it would have been a shithouse team. But with the players that we've got now, we've got the personnel to play the polar opposite of shithouse football.
Yeah,
someone else could come into this team and take this team over now. We would be playing beautiful football within 2 months. Ange Postecoglou would take that team. We would be playing beautiful football in no time at all with these players.
Yeah, no. I agree. Sorry, a few comments in the chat. Nick, turn your mic up. Me, turn my mic down. That's fine. I've just moved my mic further away from my mouth. Right, so hopefully that's a bit better now. I don't know what you can do to yours, Nick, because you've got that gate. That gate on.
I've got the noise gate, and it's too hot up here, mate. I'm in the loft.
You're gonna have to put up with that tonight.
But next week.
Hopefully my one's a bit better now. So sorry, I've completely gone off track. Remind me.
No, so we were talking about Kudus. Where is he going to fit basically in the team? And obviously Mark from Chichester said that it should be in the number 10. But no, it is a concern. It's a genuine concern of mine as to where this guy's going to fit. He's a potentially a wonderful player, like a real great player. And,
This is the thing I was thinking though while you were talking just now, and then I spotted the fucking mic comments, so it couldn't be completely off track. Is that when I was learning about Kudus and reading about him, there was two reviews that I watched who went into his game in a lot of depth, right? And this one person who sounded exceptionally knowledgeable, he said, this guy is potentially on the cusp of being an elite footballer. Now, this is not Vlasic. This is not necessarily Scamacca. Scamacca is he's very much a one-dimensional striker, if you like. Good talented finisher and everything else. But I'm saying, this is not that player who's fixed in one position doing one role. This is a guy who likes to entertain the crowd, loves to entertain the crowd, loves to run at players. Now, for me, I don't think it matters where you put him, as long as you put him on the pitch, right? I don't know what his attitude. I don't know whether it was you that said that he's actually not shy about defending as well. Was it you?
Yeah. Look, listen. He'll track back every now and then, like Ben Rama will, and put his foot in. But he ain't no fucking Paqueta. He's not. He would have to. His game would have to be transferred. We would have to. This is what I mean. Why would you buy a player that excels playing progressive football in that way? And what's made him worth that much money is his attacking game. But I've got this horrible feeling that what we're probably going to try and do is try and Moyes him before he really gets a run in the team. And what that means is focus on the defensive elements of your game first. Do that.
I'll go back to what I said. Moyes is not a fool, right? He's one dimensional, but he's not a fool. If he's quality, a quality that, because you know what his teams do.
Scamacca was quality, Gary.
Yeah, but you know what his teams do. Yeah, but Scamacca is never gonna. Well, unless it's against a team in Europe, he's rarely gonna create a goal out of nothing by himself. With Paqueta, you've got someone that does. With Bowen, you've got someone that does. With Kudus, potentially, you've got someone that does. That is the kind of player that works in the Moyes system, because then he doesn't have to he just relies on individual brilliance, right? And that's exactly what he did with his old Everton team as well, right? So look, we don't know what he's gonna do. I just hope he does the right thing and puts him in the team and tries to use him, Nigel, this has been mentioned, I think, by Mandy earlier as well. The next edition of Nigel's been busy, right? Nigel's been working all around the country and he's in Tokyo at the moment, right? So when he gets back, I think probably...
He's not working in Tokyo, by the way.
No. But probably for the next international break, we'll probably have part 2, or if we can get it sooner, we'll get it sooner. But it's really down to...
October is when it's happening.
It's down to Nigel when he can do it. Work's got to go first. We've all got to pay the bills, haven't we?
Yeah.
So Kudus is a Paqueta panic buy when Paqueta goes. Well, yeah, there is that way of thinking as well.
I think that could be right.
It could be the Paqueta replacement, because it's very likely. You never know. Some deal might have been done with Man City that if he gets cleared of all these charges, which he probably will, because there's hardly any evidence, that he goes in January. And let's be honest, that's going to be a kick in the nuts for us, isn't it? So if we've got somebody like Kudus who's ready to take over from him, who's been warmed up playing in Europe and stuff, I'll be happy with that as well.
I do think, though, I think the guy will grow. He's going to be one of those players that he's ambitious. He's going to want to play. He isn't going to accept being a backup and sacrificing a year of his career waiting for Paqueta to leave. So by the time that Paqueta did, it'd be like the Scamacca thing. I think these high-profile players, they're not going to accept that. So I think if we've brought him in and we're going to hold on to him, hold him hostage for a year in case Paqueta goes, and then when he does go, we'll use Kudus. By that point, Kudus will be out of love with West Ham, I think, and he'll be like, no, get me the fuck out of here. I don't want to be here. If he doesn't play and he isn't part of that team, you don't buy a player that profile to sit on your bench.
No, and that's the worry. That's the worry that what happens to Scamacca, because he clearly got to a point where he thought, fuck this, I ain't playing for this team anymore. It will be interesting to see a plan B, says Big Fella 30. Going to be waiting a while for that, mate.
Right, Sam from Baz Vegas.
How you doing, boys? Hope you're all doing well. My question is, what do you actually think Moyes' plan is with Mohammed Kudus? Because he normally plays in that attacking role.
It's a recurring theme,
where we've got Paqueta at the moment, or on the right where we've got Bowen. You know Moyes ain't going to drop Paqueta or Bowen, but obviously paying £45 million for a player, he's sort of got to get in your starting 11. So do you think he's going to be on the left-hand side or not? Because I think it's a bit of a gamble paying that sort of money for someone and they ain't actually played in the position before where you're thinking about playing them. So what do you think?
Yeah, no, boys. Well, again, we've just touched on it, Sam. Sorry about that, but for me, this is it's a bit of a concern, and this will come round to squad harmony again as the season progresses, because David Moyes has gone and got rid of a load of players that were disgruntled this season. We're a happy camp at the moment. That will start to change if for instance, the Souček thing. I don't care what anyone says. Right, they train with this guy. If you've got Lanzini, Fornals, Lanzini's gone, but Fornals sitting on the bench. I mean, we haven't even mentioned Fornals. You got Fornals sitting on the bench. This guy, Kudus, sitting there watching this guy who can't pass a fucking ball 10 yards.
Yeah.
This causes problems. This type of thing causes problems. And this is where David Moyes gets called into question, I think, by players of his own squad, probably. Because and look, and 100% he has, because that's why a lot of these players have gone. They've moved on. It was not a happy camp towards the end of that year. Yeah, fair enough. They all enjoyed winning the cup, but it is loads of players have left and loads more players wanted to leave. Look at Cresswell. So that was not a happy camp. So what he's done now is he's gone out and he's got JWP. He's got a few new players in that are all going to be happy. But it don't take long, Gary, does it, for things to flip and turn, especially if results start dipping. If results start dipping as well.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, it's all based on results, Nick. It's all based on results.
Yeah.
We've got a very happy camp at the moment. You know, they're walking on air after beating Chelsea, fucking double after beating Brighton away. You know, this is them. You know, it must have been brilliant at the training ground.
This is a great point.
Yeah, no, that's what happens. Someone mentioned earlier that if Antonio gets injured, what happens? This is for me. This is what happens. Bowen gets put up front. Kudus gets put on the right. But I think at the moment the simple thing to do would be to drop Souček and replace Benny with him. Benny's not on form. I'll put Kudus in for Benny. Benny is much better from the bench, in my opinion. Right? That's when he seems to be up for it.
I worry that in the typical Moyes system, I don't think that Bowen can do what Antonio does. He can't do the hold-up play. He can't fight. He can't fight defenders off. He can run the channels. I think Bowen is better running from wide areas. I do running from deep. He's better running at players. I don't think he's going to be as effective playing that way. I'm not saying he'll be rubbish. He'll be better than Danny Ings, for instance. He'll be better than Danny Ings, but.
No,
I
agree.
He ain't no Antonio.
I agree with you. He ain't got the physical presence, right? But he has got the ability to drag defenders around. And so has Kudus, right? So I think it would be fascinating to see, you know, because he's a wasp, Bowen. He's just a pain in the ass. And I hope that, you know, he's a wasp as well, Kudus. So I think two of them playing up front will be a nightmare for defenders, right? You know, let's see. We haven't actually seen him play for West Ham yet. Let's see how quickly he gets used to the Premier League as well.
Right. Okay. Grant Croxford. Here we go.
Hi, guys. Quick question for you tonight.
About Kudus.
What would your starting 11 be for the first European game?
Ooh, that's a good one. That. I'll take the defence. Well, based on what the starting lineup's been so far, I think let's say it's going to be a 4-2-3-1. I think you're going to be looking at. Well, I'll run through what I think the team is, Gary, and you can correct me if you think I'm wrong. So I think it'll be Fabianski. I think you're going to be seeing Cresswell at left back.
Yep.
I think you'll be seeing Kehrer at right back.
Yep.
Or Johnson with Kehrer inside it as a centre back. You'll be seeing Mavropanos. You'll be seeing Ogbonna.
Yeah.
Then you'll be seeing Fornals in central midfield.
Yes.
I think I'm hoping it's going to be. I'm hoping it's going to be Souček.
Kudus is going to play, though, Nick.
No. But what I'm saying is, I think it's going to. I'm hoping it's going to be Souček that plays in the European games, so that in the Premier League, that's what I'm hoping, that he gets demoted. But I mean, wide left, you're going to be seeing Cornet as well on the wide left. I think you'll still see Bowen because Bowen's proved that he's got the fitness to play every day.
Yeah, tell me, right? Have I missed out on my... Did they do that 3-pack of European tickets again? Because I didn't see an email come through. No one contacted me. I've heard it. Someone said the other day I bought me 3-pack of tickets, right? They seem to have the first game up for sale, you know, against the Nomarks, against Bakatopola. Is that it? 21st of September. That's away. That's away. Oh, sorry. No, it's at home. It's at home. It's at home. 21st September. And when I tried to buy I haven't got any tickets available for that. So have I missed the boat? Have I not bought my fucking tickets?
You're very rude. You just chopped into the man's question.
No, I know. I'm just worried about this. And it says the deadline was Monday for the ticket bundle.
Worry about it after.
No, but I've missed my fucking tickets now.
Sake.
That's bollocks.
Right. We're doing something. Right. So anyway, So we got to Cornet on the left. Up front, you'll see Danny Ings or Mabama, hopefully.
Yeah.
That'd be good, or both. Maybe he done that pre-season when he went out to Oz. So Ryan told me the other day. So he could potentially play two up front. We don't know. But like I say, I think Bowen will play wide right. I don't know. I think that's probably going to be it. I'm hoping. But what I don't think that. Although I haven't said that, do you think you can go full on and make changes like that in this? Because this ain't the Europa Conference League.
Listen, against the first team at home, away against this side, you'd have to be double careful, right? But you'd have your first choice players for emergencies to come on from the bench, wouldn't you? To turn it around. That's what we did in some games. Last
Yeah.
I would think bringing them to our place, we're going to turn them over pretty easily, right? I think that'll be fine. So yeah, I would play very much a weakened side. But if you go back to what Moyes did in the first couple of European campaigns, until we qualified, he had. Sorry, I've really lost my mind over these tickets now. I like my own seats. I like my own seats.
You should read your text messages, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Everyone's saying they was getting messages through.
Yeah. Well, I didn't. I just checked my email as well. Got nothing. Anyway. Bloody hell. I'm rubbish. I blame myself. But yeah. So, sorry. Where was I, Nick?
I don't remember.
You're distracting me.
You're distracting yourself. No. Yeah. So what we were saying was, can we afford to make mass changes in these games because it isn't the Conference League?
Yes, we can, but I don't think Moyes will. That was my point. I think he'll stick to what he's done, which will be 75% the first team and a couple of others sprinkled in. Maybe Mabama will get a chance up front.Maybe Kudus will get a game. Maybe some of the defenders will get a game. I reckon it'll be 50-50.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. I think we've at least got to get some points on the board first in this group.
You got that right, Sam. My head has gone. I'm fuming. I'm fuming. I never miss buying tickets.
Well, you did this time.
I know.
Right. Okay. Brace yourselves. This is the last one, and this is Hammer's Mikey.
All right, lads, and everyone at Claret and Moobs. Hammer's Mikey, yeah.
Claret and Moobs, you fucker.
Do you think that these dire, depressing defensive tactics from senile, wrinkly bollocks Moyes are going to get us sussed out soon or not? Me personally, I think they will, and I think it will all come crashing down against City. Then every other club after that will follow suit. Moyes is unable to change his ways whatsoever.
He's got a backing.
In fact, I'm that confident on that that I would bet my ass, my missus, and my 17-year-old daughter as well on it.
Yeah.
Also, I'd like to say a few words on some of the fan base out there, and some of the fans.
Ooh.
The fans giving it week in, week out. Super David Moyes, David Moyes' Claret and Blue Army. We've got Super David Moyes, David Moyes and Messiah, and all that bollocks. I've got 3 words on that to them fans.
Is this you, Nick?
It's not
embarrassing, cringy, and delusional. And I think them fans should take a good look at themselves in a mirror. Anyway, keep it a good work, lads. Loving the videos and updates every week.
Yeah.
Take it easy.
Yeah,
baked potatoes. Laters.
I love that. Cool.
All right, lads.
That's a brilliant one. Oh, Claret and Moobs. Look, I'll be honest with you.
It's true, though. It's true.
Listen, it's true. And as well as we have started the season well, we know that in terms of results. Listen, we've got City, we've got Liverpool, we've got Villa, we've got Newcastle, with Sheffield United sandwiched in between. Sheffield United ain't going to be easy. I've watched them play a few times. They play decent football. They're much better than fucking Luton. It wouldn't be unfeasible. It wouldn't be unfeasible for us to go on a bit of a fucking downward spiral now. That's the thing. But again, would you put it past us going and scraping, getting 3 points against Man City? I don't know.
No, I wouldn't put it past us. I wouldn't put it past us.
It was actually a brilliant message.
Spoilers. I really enjoyed that. Come on, must have been fucking. We got Super David Moyes. I can't forget that time. When was it? Derby
I'm not going to
away?
say to him. The thing is, he knows. He's basically that guy is speaking. It's like he's speaking from inside me, inside my head, because that's exactly how I feel when I was stood there looting away, and they're all singing. We've got
I ain't fucking sung it once. I ain't sung it once.
I've not sung it.
No.
So I stand there with my fucking hands in my pockets. Make it stop.
It first happened when
I hate it.
We were in the bottom three in the FA Cup game against Derby away last year, and they started their noisy crowd were next to us, right? And they started singing "We've got super blah blah blah," and then we're almost bottom of the league at the time.
Yeah.
We started singing "We got super David fucking Moyes," right? So anyway, it happened down at Brighton as well, and Chris was turned around to me and said, "Come on, sing it." I said, No, I ain't singing it. I'm not joining in that crap. I hate that song. I can't stand it. I didn't even sing it. I might have sung it at Prague, right?
Yeah.
But that's the only time he deserved it that night, just for the sake of it, you know. I felt for him bringing his old man on and stuff like that.
Oh,
nice.
yeah,
So
look,
you got to be a human. You got to be a human.
No, the final,
Yeah.
yes, 100%.
Yeah.
I probably would have even sung it at the final.
Yeah.
If I'd have been there at that
Yeah.
point. Now might have been
I'd
the
have
one
videoed
time.
it if you'd have sung
might have been
it,
the one
it.
time. Well, I wouldn't. Actually, you tried to get me to sing it, didn't you? No,
I
weren't
did,
you?
yeah.
You was there. It was at the Black Lion. John tried to get me to sing it. Wouldn't do it. It's not going to happen. It's bad, really. Sad, isn't it?
I know.
But yeah. But yeah, no, great message. Right, I think that's what we're doing is we're holding off on the phone calls this week because look, there hasn't been any football, so there isn't much to discuss. I'm melting. I want to get the fuck out of this room. I'm in the loft. It ain't cooling down. Gary told me it cooled down. It ain't cooled down.
Yeah.
So I need to get out of the room. Thank you very much, everyone. Gary, over to you.
Hawaiian Hammer, who stands behind me down at West Ham. Super David Moyes, Zoomer at the back, Bowen at the back, Mickey at the back. That's there it goes, isn't it? We got Super David Moyes. He knows exactly what we need. Zoomer at the back, Bowen at the back, Mickey at the back. At the back. That's the version.
10 man at the back, one man
Hawaiian,
in attack.
Hawaiian
He'll bore us
well.
till we're on our fucking
he knows all the
knees.
songs. He knows all the songs. Saw him out in Prague. Saw Hawaiian out in Prague, and his son, whose name escapes me at the moment. He'll come back to me in a minute. But I saw everyone in fucking Prague. Let's go through the last few comments. Hang on a minute.
Brilliant.
So we got Bowen says he loves it. Yeah, look, Bowen, you know, in Prague, he was videoing us singing the Danny Dyer song. He was singing along to it. He loved it. He was actually singing along to it, right? Because as I said last week, it's not insulting. They got twins. It's factually correct.
But he called it romantic as well. He thinks it's
romantic. He's shagging Danny Dyer. She don't deny it. She's got twins, right? Only point out a fact. That's all we do. We're objective. West Ham fans. Right, so look, we're Russell, that's it. Yeah. So look, thank you all. This has been a midweek fucking in the middle when all YouTube videos are getting crap views, right? We've had 500 people most of the night on this channel, so thank you for that. I hope you've enjoyed it. Special effort from Nick. Well done, Nick. I know you struggled tonight, but you know you probably
this has been the one night I really didn't want to do this.
You're probably quite moist in the undergarment department, aren't you?
I'm stuck to my chair. Stuck.
Peel your nuts off when you get up.
To my pleather chair. I'm stuck to it.
All right, so we are done. See you soon. We'll be back in a week.
Drop a like on the video as well before you go.
Drop a like on the video before you go. Subscribe, become a member. Do all those things. Do all those things if you like. And there we go. See you soon.
Lovely stuff. Right.
Come on, you ones.
What
are we doing?
Right. Is it time to go?
Yeah.
All right.
You
See you
gonna end
later.
it?
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Wicked, jungle is massive. Wicked, wicked, jungle is massive. Wicked, yo.